Welcome again to Joe Stunner Boxing. Chris EUBANK Jr. I made a video yesterday about the fact that the board are going to want to speak to him about his weight making for the Conor Benn fight. And it looks like they haven't forgotten about this 100 grand that he's got fined for the egg slap too. He's expected to pay it, apparently. There was an article I read in Boxing News Online, which is the trade paper. Excuse me. And there's a couple of other outlets that have mentioned this. And EUBANK isn't entirely happy with it. He has reminded the board that Conor Benn actually failed a couple of PED tests, or tests for banned substances anyway, and hasn't received any fines. He didn't even get banned, really. So EUBANK isn't entirely happy, but he says, all right, he was going to appeal, and he said, but I don't think he's bothered. But anyway, Robert Smith, who's the General Secretary of the British Boxing Board of Control, said that he, meaning EUBANK, said he was going to appeal the fine, but unfortunately did not fulfil the regulations. So therefore, the fine stands. Now, where's this 100 grand going to go? Well, it's apparently going to go to a charity organisation, which I think is it the Ringside Charitable Trust, because there are several charitable trusts that help boxers who are on hard times, suffering from all sorts of ailments. Could be dementia, whatever. Could be they're just homeless, or they, a lot of money, 100 grand, isn't it? But it's going to go to this charity, and I don't think. I mean, also this the charity for retired boxers. It also funds medical research, supposedly. So, it's not going into Robert Smith's back pocket, if that's what you're thinking. Or so they say. I mean, some people will believe anything or won't believe anything or whatever. But EUBANK, I don't think, will be crying too much into his latte, because he did get a reported 10 million quid for that Conor Benn fight. And in fact, he appears quite eager to have a rematch with Benn in September. What weight this would be at, I have no idea. Because I assume that if the board are going to speak to him in July regarding his weight-making techniques, I mean, what are they going to do? Because EUBANK is an extremely disciplined man, and he really struggled to make the weight. In fact, he didn't make the weight. He was half an ounce over. So are they going to monitor him, during the build-up? And if they don't like what they see, if they don't like the fact that EUBANK is his way of making weight, or perhaps he's not losing as much incrementally as he should be, are they going to have the bottle to pull the fight? I would be surprised if the board, and by the way, I am kind of for the board. I mean, the reason it's kind of powerless is because it just doesn't have a lot of money. But I would be surprised if the board found the nuts to pull a fight of that magnitude. They haven't done anything with Benn. In fairness to them, Benn actually threw his license away. He was so affronted that someone could have, even suspected that he would be guilty of whatever he was charged of, that he gave up his license initially. But when he went back, and then there was the to-in and fro-in regarding, there were all sorts of appeals going in, because he was clear to fight, supposedly clear to fight. He was not found innocent. He was clear to fight. Those are two very different things. And but the board, you would think, I mean, they can't have been happy with this Benn situation. But then, Benn has got Eddie Hearn behind him. He's got Matchroom's money. He's got DAZN's money. The little old board, what can they do? I mean, it's a thankless task trying to be fair to everyone. I've got plenty of criticisms of the British Boxing Board of Control, but generally speaking, I respect and I support the concept of it. I don't believe in the Wild West. I don't believe in rolling over for drug cheats, which you can argue they've done. I believe in standing up to these people and putting your foot down and everything. But if you have limited power, and by of course power we mean money, It's very difficult to do. So I would assume that this 100 grand, you know, giving it to, I don't know whether it is, the Ringside Charitable Trust, by the way, is a fantastic charity, which everyone who likes boxing and loves boxing all these fighters should have their badge on their shorts, I think. It'd be great if people, I mean, Anthony Joshua, I think, has spoken in favour of it and supported it, but all the promoters, all the leading lights in British boxing should get behind the Ringside Charitable Trust, because it's a fantastic organisation. I hope that's where they're putting this 100 grand, because they're building a retirement home for fighters who've fallen on hard times. And it's a really great. Go and have a look at it. Go and Google it. They've got their own website and everything like that. Doesn't everyone these days? So go and have a look. But yeah, just to bring us full circle, EUBANK Jr, 100 grand, it stands, and he'll probably pay it, won't he? And in the rematch, what's he going to ask for? 15, 20 million? If there is a rematch, of course. But it will be very interesting to see how the board monitors that, how it polices it with regard to him making weight. Again, it'll be interesting to see what they say at the hearing in July about him making the weight first time round. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for your time as always. Please, if you like this video, hit the like button, and also subscribe to the channel if you're new, because you're a good person and we want to build the channel up. Of course we do. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. Christ, it's a hot one here. I'm in the UK and my God, heat wave. And also I've got a little fun fair going on next door to me. I mean, literally a fun fair, because I live next to a sort of green piece of green park, and there's a fun fair going on. So I'll be listening to bad cover versions of Oasis and REM songs all evening. But they're all right. They're all right. Kids are having fun. All right. Thanks a lot. Catch you later. Bye for now.